if you find yourself like me, where you're feeling like, I don't know, like a little anxious or whatever to start playing because you're worried that you're not going to be able to do it, I think that's the wrong mindset. I think that you're questioning your ability. And I think that in order to make it work, you need to kind of push through that. And you need to get in there and you need to just try it. Hey, so if you're watching this, you're probably wondering, why is this guy walking around outside and not sitting at the table rolling dice and coming up with stuff? I really wanted to film this video, and I've wanted to film this video for the last couple of days. But something has been making me sort of procrastinate it. I thought that it was because, I'll admit it, it's nerve-wracking when you're filming yourself for other people. And I'm still getting used to that. But no, it was something else, because even before, I still found myself being apprehensive before I started engaging in solo roleplay sessions. I'm trying to understand what that is, what that thing is behind it. And here's what I think it is. And maybe you've had this kind of an experience before. You get this expectation in your head that, oh, I'm supposed to come up with all this stuff. I'm supposed to come up with this big adventure. I'm supposed to come up with this big story. And I think that that's the wrong mindset. I think if we go into it like that, we're psyching ourselves out. We're setting ourselves up for failure. The better approach is to kind of go in with little to no expectations. Go in like you are going to be experimenting and tinkering and trying things out and learning things. I think that when we take that kind of an approach, it helps us to see things a little bit differently. I've been thinking about kind of the resources that I want to use, the different parts and pieces of a solo role-playing game, or the parts and the pieces that kind of become whatever I'm going to be doing. So let me see if I can explain this in a way that will make sense. When I'm going to solo role-play, I usually will set up a little expectation for myself, and I think that's good. So in this case, my expectation is, okay, I'm going to be playing a dungeon. And so that's I know what resources I'm going to be using, and I know what kind of tools I'm going to be using. So I think it is important to kind of build this framework when you play a solo RPG session, what you're going to be using. And that's the really cool thing about all this, is you can jump between things. In my last session when I did the world building, I used Sandbox Generator because that is such a great tool for making, a sandbox to play in. So for this time, I'm going to be using, dungeon generation tools. And then you can change between that from session to session. And it can really enhance your experience because you can always pick the best tool for the job based on whatever your characters or the adventure is going to be in the session that you're doing. So yeah, talking more about this whole expectations thing and what that entails. If you find yourself like me, where you're feeling I don't know, a little anxious or whatever to start playing because you're worried that you're not going to be able to do it, I think that's the wrong mindset. I think that you're questioning your ability. And I think that in order to make it work, you need to kind of push through that. And you need to get in there and you need to just try it, And that happens through experimentation. It happens through changing your mindset. And it happens through recognizing that it's okay to take mistakes. And it happens through recognizing that it's okay to make mistakes. Mistakes are 100% okay. Making mistakes is how we learn. It's how we grow. It's how we become, better humans overall. I'm going to save this and probably edit it down a whole bunch. And then we'll get to the table and we'll start playing this thing.